Good morning, students. I am Rajni Gehlot from Bhaurav Devras Saraswati Vidya Mandir, PGT English. Now I am going to continue my chapter, the last lesson from Flamingo. This is the chapter from class 12th. So till now we came to know how Franz was surprised to see the villagers in his classroom and how he was shocked to know the announcement of Berlin by Mr. Amhamel. Now we came to know how French was asked about participle by Amhamel. So now this was the turn of Franz to tell about the participle. He thought that he will tell each and everything without stopping, without any mistake, but it didn't happen. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हुआ. Hamel asked question Franz on participles. Franz thought that he would speak confidently. उसने सोचा था कि वो confidently बोलेगा without any mistake. But when he stood up, जैसे ही वो खड़ा हुआ, he was unable to speak a word also. वो मतलब कुछ words भी नहीं बोल पाया, and he was feeling ashamed and he was very sad and he was unable to face Mr. Amhamel because he don't know about the participle. वो उनको face भी नहीं कर पा रहा था. He was unable to look up and to face Amhamel, being able to speak and could not face Amhamel because he did not know about his mother tongue, about the participle. He did not prepare his homework. People of Alsace who kept learning for tomorrow. So now, in this slide, Mr. Hamel told to him that this is not his mistake. This is not only his mistake that he did not learn his language properly, and he blamed to himself and his parents also. इसके लिए वो उसके parents मतलब students के parents और अपने आप को भी blame करता है. He said why he blamed to the parents prefer because parents prefer to put their children on field rather than to send them in school. उनके जो parents थे वो उनको स्कूल भेजने की जगह फॉर्म्स में और मिल्स में काम करने के लिए भेजना ज़्यादा पसंद करते थे so that they can earn money for them. And he also blames himself for not taking his class seriously. He also blamed to himself because he also did not take their classes seriously. What did he do? Rather than take to their class, he sent them, the students, to water his plants and giving holidays when he wished to go for fishing. Means when he wanted to go to the fishing, he gave them holiday, and he also sent them to water his plants. अपने जो गार्डन था उसमें पानी देने के लिए बच्चों को भेज दिया करते थे rather than to learn the language. Hamel praises French language. Now in this video he prays to his French language. How beautiful is the French language. He said French is the most beautiful language in the world and the clearest and the most logical language of the world. French language is most beautiful, most clearest and the most logical language of the world. He suggests to the people that we should guard our language, we should protect it among us and never forget it. We should never forget our mother tongue. We should always protect it. हमेशा हमें इसकी सुरक्षा करनी चाहिए. Why? Because when a people are enslaved, as long as he hold fast his language, it is as if they had key to their prison. If they know their own language, then it is like a key in a prison. प्रिजन की तरह है अगर उनकी कमांड है अपनी मदर टंग पर, बिकॉज देयर मदर टंग इज द बेस्ट मीन्स फॉर एक्सप्रेसिंग themselves. Friends filled with admiration for Amhamel. Now he was feeling very good for Amhamel, and he said that Amhamel taught with patience. That day he was teaching them with very patience, and each and everything taught by him was clear to Amhamel. He was to French. He was surprised. Before it, he never be able to understand this language, but today each and every point of the language was clear to him. He was very surprised about it, and the reason of it was, he also told it, that its reason was that he was listening to him very attentively. Before it, he never listened the topic so attentively, and his teacher also did not explain the topic so patiently, with so patience and so clearly. Today, Hamel want to clear each and every point of his mother tongue to those people and students who were sitting in the class. And it seems as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away, and to put it into our heads at once stop. ऐसा प्रतीत होता था कि आज वो जाने से पहले हमें एक एक चीज़ें बता देना चाहते हो, सारी चीज़ें वो हमको पढ़ा देना चाहते हो. M. Hamel brought new copies for all. Now there was the turn, and firstly he teased them about the grammar. Now this is the term of writing section. So today he brought with him some writing books, copies for all the people and the students, to give it all a new start. On copies, one hand to practice handwriting. हैंडराइटिंग की प्रैक्टिस के लिए वो लेकर आए थे और वो सबको उन्होंने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दी. इट वॉज रिटन इन ब्यूटीफुल राउंड हेड. यू कैन सी, एज आपने छोटे बच्चों को देखा होगा, राइटिंग उनको जब कराई जाती है तो वर्ड्स लिखे जाते हैं. जब बहुत ज़्यादा छोटे होते हैं तो लेटर्स और लाइनिंग दी जाती हैं. बट ही इज़ इन प्राइमरी स्कूल, सो वर्ड्स वर गिवन फॉर राइटिंग. व्हाट वर द वर्ड्स विच वर रिटन ऑन द पेजेस ऑफ दोज कॉपीज. उन कॉपीज के पेजेस पर क्या लिखा हुआ था इन ब्यूटीफुल राइटिंग? फ्रांस एल्सेक. एंड यू कैन इमेजिन a word like flags. It was seeming as if the flags were floating on the each and every bench of the classroom with the support of a rod. ऐसा लग रहा था कि हर बेंच पर एक रॉड से लगे हुए फ्लैग जो हैं वो फहरा रहे हैं. दे वर written so beautifully on the pages. Everyone sat to work, everything was quiet, and all of the students and villagers were so busy in writing that they did not notice the battles which entered into the class. There was the sound of only scratching of the pen on the paper. There was only silence around them. Will they make? And at that time, French thought that about Germans, that will they make them sing in German? Even the pigeon, when he listened the sound of the pigeon, they were cooed on the roof of the classroom. Then he thought that the Germans will taught the pigeon also in Germany language. They will learn them German language rather than to code them in their own tongue. क्या मतलब वो उन पर व्यंग करते हुए कहता है फ्रेंच, क्या ये यहाँ के जानवर और पक्षियों को भी जर्मन लैंग्वेज सिखाएंगे? हाउ लकी आर दीज बर्ड्स एंड एनिमल्स दैट दे आर नॉट फोर्स्ड बाय एनी कंट्री to speak their own language. There was a satire on them, upon Germans. French mocks Germans and can they force means French जो है उन पर मजाक करते हुए कहता है कि क्या जर्मन एनिमल्स और बर्ड्स को भी उनको जर्मन सिखाएंगे. Self pity. France was pitying the state and the condition of the France people where they being humans were forced to change their language and words. उसको बहुत अफसोस हो रहा है कि जो फ्रांस के लोग हैं उनको जर्मनी सीखनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि वो उनके गुलाम हो चुके हैं. उनको अपनी मदर टंग त्यागनी पड़ेगी. लेकिन वो हम अपने आप से बेटर जानवर को और पक्षियों को मानता है कि कम से कम उनको तो फोर्स नहीं किया जा सकता जर्मन लैंग्वेज सीखने के लिए. वो इतने आज़ाद हैं कि वो अपनी लैंग्वेज जो है उनकी उसको यूज़ कर सकते हैं. ह्यूमन प्रेडिका. मैन हैज़ टर्न इन ह्यूमन वेयर ही वांट्स टू कंट्रोल रूल एंड टेक ओवर अदर. मैन जो है मतलब मनुष्य जो है इतना इनह्यूमन हो गया है, अनकाइंड हो गया है कि ही वांट्स टू कंट्रोल. वो सब पर कंट्रोल करना चाहता है, शासन करना चाहता है, टू टेक ओवर अदर, दूसरों पर, सब मतलब जो उसके कंट्रोल में है उन सब पर अपनी विरासत बनाना चाहता है, उन सबको अपनी विरासत मानता है। जबकि बर्ड्स एंड एनिमल्स आर बेटर हु स्टिल लेट टीच ईच अदर लिव फॉर फ्री इन देयर पेरिफेरी, जबकि जानवर और पक्षी वो हमसे अच्छे हैं, जो कि आज़ाद हैं, वो किसी अपनी सीमा में रहते हुए उनको कोई भी उनको रोक नहीं सकता कुछ करने के लिए। एम हैमिल फील्स सॉरी फॉर द लॉस ऑफ हिज कंट्री, and M. Hamel was very sorry because this was last day in that school, and now next day will have to leave the country also. Not only the school, he will have to leave the country also. So I felt sorry for he had to leave, wanted to fix everything in a gaze. And when they were doing writing, French noticed whenever he looked up, he noticed that M. Hamel was so serious, and he was so still and watching each and everything very seriously. They were gazing them. It seems as if he want to keep them into their mind. ऐसा लग रहा था वो हर चीज़ को इतने बारीकी से निहार रहे थे, ऐसा लगता था कि वो सारी यादों को अपने माइंड में फीड कर लेना चाहते हों। ऑब्वियसली जो व्यक्ति वहाँ 40 साल से रह रहा है उसको अटैचमेंट तो हो ही जाता है, तो ही वॉज फीलिंग वेरी सॉरी टू लीव ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स he had planted. And what did he do in his 40 years? He had planted trees and plants in the garden. And now when they were doing writing, Hamel's sister moving in the room above the classroom. There was a room of Mr. Hamel above the classroom where his sister was moving the trunk. He was doing packing for leaving the country next day, and for must leave, and M. Hamel stood up very pale. Now he has become very sad, and he stood up, and his throat has choked. He was unable to speak any words, and he write in big letters, Viva la France. M. Hamel could not face, and because he was so emotional, he had become so emotional that he was unable to face the people and to speak any words, to say see of them. वो उनको मतलब see of be बोलने में incapable था, तो इसीलिए उसने सिर्फ बड़े बड़े अक्षरों से बोर्ड पर क्या लिखा, Viva la France, means long live France. Thank you students, this was the last lesson of your book Flamingo. Have a nice day, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.